For the documentary and for GPS earlier this week, I had the rare opportunity to interview one of the men who knows Vladimir Putin best. Dmitry Peskov has been at the president's side as his spokesman and top aide for almost 2 decades. It is an almost unique opportunity to hear a senior Russian official offer the Kremlin side of the controversies that have been roiling the White House and the world. I spoke to Peskov from New York. He was, of course, in Moscow. Mr. Peskov, I don't know where to begin with all the allegations about Donald Trump and his campaign and the Russian government. So let me ask you very directly. Did the Russian government have any collaboration or serious communication back and forth with Donald Trump's campaign during the election campaign last year?
The answer is very simple, no. And the fact that Russia is being demonized in that sense comes very strange to us. And we are really sorry about that, because the whole situation takes us away from the perspective of getting our relationship to a better condition. We quite unexpectedly we faced a situation when Russia all of a sudden became, let's say, a nightmare for the United States. And we sincerely cannot understand why American people and American politicians started the process of self-humiliation. You are self-humiliating yourself, saying that a country can intervene in your election process. America, a huge country, the most powerful country in the world, with a very, very stable political traditions, and you say that a country can easily intervene and easily influence your electoral process. This is simply impossible. This is simply impossible. And when it comes to Russia, I can tell you that we never had, we do not have, and we will not have any intention to interfere in someone's domestic affairs, especially in America's domestic affairs. We will never let anyone to put his nose in our domestic affairs, but we're quite reciprocal in that attitude when it comes to our countries, to other countries.
So what was it that the Russian ambassador, Sergei Kislyak, was talking to so many of Donald Trump's associates about?
This is his job. He was talking about bilateral relations. He was talking about what is going on in the United States, so we have a better understanding in Moscow. This is what is being performed by every ambassador of Russia abroad, every ambassador of the United States abroad, including in Moscow. Because the more ambassador talks to people in his country of residence, the better job he does.
Did he have similar meetings with Clinton campaign officials? Because I don't know of any.
Well, if you look at some people connected with Hillary Clinton during her campaign, you would probably see that he had lots of meetings of that kind. But there were no meetings about electoral process. There was in no way it should be perceived as interference in electoral process. There are lots of specialists in politology, people working in think tanks, advising Hillary or advising people working for Hillary. So if you look at it with intention to demonize Russia, you would probably see that, yes, he was trying to interfere in Hillary's activities. But it would be nonsense, because this is not true.
But isn't it fair to say that Mr. Putin did not warm to Hillary Clinton, and he accused her of meddling in Russia's internal affairs during the 2011-2012 campaign for his own presidency? So it does seem as though he might have had a preference for Mr. Trump, given that, in his view, Hillary Clinton had tried to interfere in Russian domestic politics.
You would probably recall that President Putin, during election campaign, had never answered directly a question about his candidate of his support. He kept saying that we will respect a choice of American people, and that only American people can and should choose their own president. These were the words of President Putin that he had repeated numerous times during this last couple of years. But of course, if you ask him whether he had mentioned the then candidate Donald Trump, I will answer you, yes, he had. Why? The candidate Hillary Clinton was quite negative about our country in her attitude and in her program, declaring Russia being nearly the main evil in the world and the main threat for the United States. And to the contrary, the other candidate, Donald Trump, was saying that yes, we disagree with the Russians in lots of issues, but we have to talk to them in order to try to find some understanding. Whom would you like better? The one who says that Russia is evil, or the one who says that yes, we disagree, but let's talk to understand and to try to find some points of agreement? Well, of course, public opinion would like the other one. It's quite natural. It's quite natural, but it doesn't mean in no way that Russia has interfered in the electoral process.
So what do you make of the fact that every intelligence agency in the United States, as you know, they rarely agree on anything, and all 16 of them say that they have high confidence that Russia tried to alter the outcome of the elections in the United States?
Well, you know, we don't know what's the reason for these words. We've never seen any evidence, and we've never heard something trustful. What we have seen and open a public part of a report by one of the agencies, special agencies of the United States, and I would humbly say that it's not a paper of a high quality in terms of being really trustful.